Okay, this is the recap. This is the recap of the chapter, the third level. So we are going to understand in detail what all was covered in the chapter, right? To begin with, the third level is written by Jack Finney, which deals with the irreversible, harsh consequences of war. In the chapter, we understand that the protagonist, Charlie, suffers from certain mental disorder, or he is in a state of insecurity and fear due to the modern day problems, uncertainty, and stress from which everybody wants to escape, right? This is a story of a 31-year-old man and a psychological condition in which he hallucinates and visits a third level of the Grand Central Station, which does not exist as such, because the Grand Central Station just has two levels, right? Okay, now let's go through the summary in detail. Piyush, please start reading.
Summary of third level class 12 starts with the story revolving around a 31-year-old man named Charlie who had a weird experience. While returning to his residence, he reaches to the third level of the Grand Central Station, which does not exist. He reminisces the entire experience with his friend Sam, who is a psychiatrist, and terms his experience as a walking dream wish fulfillment. Charlie had hallucinated time travel to somewhere in 1894, a time before the world saw the two deadly world wars. After he had realized that he had time traveled, he wanted to buy two tickets to Galesburg, Illinois. He wanted to travel to Galesburg with his wife, Louisa. Uh, According to Sam, his psychiatrist friend, he wanted to escape the reality of the harsh world. The next day,
Okay,
Charlie reached the
please
station.
wait, wait. Piyush, please don't be in such a, you're running very fast. Please read properly. Okay, now in this stanza, we understand that Charlie, who is a 31-year-old man, one day when he was coming back from his office, he had a weird experience. He was going back to his house, and on the way there was Grand Central Station. Now there's a detailed description of this railway station, that this was a very popular one, a very busy one, which was most of the time crowded by people. A lot of commotion was there, to and fro of locomotives was there, right? So Charlie enters into the Grand Central Station. Now this station was so vast and far spread. It has several entry and exit points. That he even goes up to the extent of telling that several times it had happened that he entered into a entrance of the Grand Central Station, and then through corridors when he tried to exit out, when he tried to move out of it, he came to some another place. One day he entered into a hotel, one day he entered into a mall or to a shopping complex, right? So the central station, the Grand Central Station, was basically a very expanded, a far spread area, and it was very full of people. It was crowded every time. So one day when he entered into the Grand Central Station, he entered into a corridor. He started moving upstairs, the first level, the second level, and he reaches the third level. And this incident he has discussed with his psychiatrist friend Sam. Now Sam is all in shock because everybody knows there is no third level in Grand Central Station, right? So he calls it as a walking dream wish fulfillment. Now, walking dream wish fulfillment simply means that this was something, which came out in the form of this third level. What actually he wishes for, what Charlie wished for, what a long prolonged wish he had in his heart, to go to a place where there was no war, where there was there was peaceful environment was there. There was, people lived in harmony and brotherhood, right? On this third level, he reaches the time of 1894. Now, time traveling is a term you must have heard about it. There's so many write-ups on this. There's so many books written on this. Even on YouTube, you will find a lot of people who challenge that time traveling is true and people travel in time. God knows to what extent it's true or not, but yes, time and again, this topic has been highlighted. So at the third level, Charlie reaches a period of 1894. It was a time before the world had witnessed the two world wars, right? So when he realized that when he reached there, he realized that the place was very different from the modern world. People were dressed up in the fashion according to the 18th century, right? 1894, and things were very different. Like the locomotives, the engines, the brass spittoons which were there on the railway station. Even to cross-check in which period he was, he went up to the newspaper vendor and he had a look at the newspaper. So the date mentioned was of the 1894. The president at that time, right? So all those things were written there. He could, I mean, it was very much clear to him that he was in the past, right? So he didn't run away. He was not scared. He went up to the ticket window and he asked for 2 tickets to Galesburg, Illinois, because he wanted to go to visit this place, Galesburg, with his wife, Louisa, right? Now, Galesburg, Illinois, we understand that Charlie knew this was a place which was absolutely peaceful, harmonious. People lived their life freely, without any insecurities, without any fear of wars or hatred or jealousy among each other. People lived in harmonious environment with all love and brotherhood, right? Now, when he reached the ticket window, the ticket person sitting at the ticket counter, he scolded him. He shouted upon him. Can anyone tell me why he shouted on him? When he gave him the money, the ticket person shouted upon him. What was the reason why he shouted on him?
And because the currency was unacceptable as it was a time of the 19th century, the currency of the
Exactly.
20th century would not work.
Exactly. Because the currency notes which he gave to the person there, that were not acceptable at that time. So he threatened him that I would hand you over to the police. Now Charlie was scared and he ran away. He came back to his house. So the story begins when Charlie has told all this experience discussed this experience with his psychiatrist friend Sam, and Sam has called this as the walking dream wish fulfillment, right? And his wife Louisa, who was scared and worried about her husband. After that, several times he went in search of the 3rd level, but he never ever found that. But he had that thing in his mind. That thought of visiting that place, Galesburg, Illinois, dominated his mind every time, right? So he went and got the currency notes changed. He got the old currency note and he again went in search of the 3rd level, but he never got the 3rd level, right? So we are continuing from that point. Piyush, please continue with the second stanza.
The next day, Charlie reached the station. The next day, Charlie reached the station to look for the 3rd level to visit Galesburg, and he does not find it. Charlie hence resort to his stamp collection, which would distract him from his thoughts of the 3rd level. While going through his stamp collections, he finds out a letter from Sam, who had gone missing recently. He wrote that he always believed in Charlie's idea of the 3rd level. He says he himself is present in the 3rd level. He motivated Charlie and Louisa to keep looking for the 3rd level. This is ideally the 3rd level classrooms.
Okay. Right. Now, this was an introductory part. I think we can start with the detailed one. Piyush, please start reading. I'll start giving the explanation from this point, what happens after that. Please read the first stanza.
The summary of the 3rd level starts with the narrator himself talking about the 3rd level at the Grand Central Station, which is only 2 levels in real life, which the president of New York Central and the New York, New Haven, and Hartford railroads would vouch by. The protagonist says he himself has been to the 3rd level. Charlie, the protagonist and narrator, was reminiscing the entire incident with his psychiatrist friend Sam, who said that he was trying to escape the burden of the present reality.
Okay, now this is where from where the story starts. When Charlie says that everybody can say that there are 3rd level, the president say of New York Central says that there are 2 levels at the Grand Central Station, but I say there are 3 levels because I myself I have visited the 3rd level, right? He further he has in the beginning of the chapter itself he reminisces the entire incident with his psychiatrist friend Sam. And Sam says that it is just like you want to run away. You want to escape the burden of the present turbulences, present reality, which is very difficult, which is very troublesome for you. You want to run away from it. You want to escape from it. That is the reason you are hallucinating, right? So it's a walking dream wish fulfillment field. Please continue, Piyush.
Charlie said his stamp collection was proof that he needed refuge from reality. He adds on to say that his grandfather did not need any refuge from reality and that things were peaceful and simple during his times. He said that his grandfather also had started stamp collection but not out of insecurities. He added that even President Roosevelt collected stamps.
So this is like, clarification he's giving to Sam that you think I need, because I'm collecting stamps, so I'm running away from reality. I want to hold on to the past. It's not that. My grandfather was doing it. And at that time, there was no problem in this. There were no problems in the society. There were no wars. They were living in a very peaceful times. And similarly, he said that he talks about his grandfather did not receive any refugee, and he talks about President Roosevelt also collecting stamps. He said they were living in an era where there were no wars, where there were no insecurities, and they led a peaceful life. So even they were doing stamp collection. How can you say that I want a refugee from reality? It's not that, right? So that was the clarification he gave to his friend Sam. Please continue further. One night the previous summer.
One night, the previous summer, he was returning from his work and was in a hurry, so he decided to take a subway from the Grand Central Station instead of a bus. He says that he was dressed ordinarily. He says that the station has been growing like a plant and he had often bumped into new corridors and doors. Hence, he thought that he was walking through a secret tunnel and reached the third level of the station. He said when he reached the level, he saw every room was smaller. There was a lesser number of ticket windows, information booths, and train gates. They were all old looking and made of wood. The station was dim lit. There was the usage of open flame gas lights.
Okay. One night the previous summer, he was returning from his work. This is the entire incident he is telling now. That the previous summer, while he was coming back from his work, he was in a hurry. So he decided to take that subway of the Grand Central to reach the other part of the road, right? So instead of a bus, he took that subway. He says that he was dressed ordinarily and the station has been growing like a plant. He had often bumped into new corridors and doors. That I have told you, that station Grand Central was becoming so vast and it was so far spread that it was like a plant which had roots all over, and it had so many way outs and entrances that every time he bumped into new corridors and doors. Hence, he thought that he was walking through a secret tunnel and he reached the third level of the station, right? He said when he reached the level, he saw every room was smaller. There were lesser number of ticket windows, information booths, and train gates. Now, what was different at the third level? They were all old looking and made of wood. The doors and the windows were old looking and they were wooden. The station was dim lit. There was the usage of open flame gas lights. Now, gas lights were used. Modern day lights were not used, right? Please read this stanza. People were dressed in.
People were dressed in old fashioned clothing and there were brass spittoons everywhere around. People had fancy beards and mustaches. His suspicion was validated by the date on the newspaper, June 11, 1894. Charlie, after realizing his time travel, wanted to go to Galesburg and with his wife Louisa. While he went looking for tickets to the ticket counter, he found that the currency in use was different and that of the old times. The following day, he withdrew all of his savings and got it converted to the old century currency. This distressed his wife. He does not find the third level at the station the next day. His wife was worried when she got to know about it. After a while, he distracted himself with stamps. Somehow, Sam, the psychiatrist, disappeared out of the blue.
Okay, now the certain section is missing here, which I would like to complete. See, what happened at the third level, that is very much clear. People were dressed up very differently. He could easily make out that he has time traveled and he has come back to 1894, right? To cross-check it, he went to the newspaper vendor and his suspicion was validated by the date on the newspaper, which was June 11, 1894. Now it was clear. the manner in which people were dressed up, the wooden doors, the old gas flame lights, the locomotives and the engines were also of the previous era. And, the spittoons, the brass spittoons lying there, the ticket window, everything was different. But still, when he realized that he had time traveled and he was in the year 1894, he didn't escape that place. He went to the ticket counter and he asked for two tickets for this place, Galesburg, Illinois. As I've told you, that he wanted to go to this place because he wanted to be in a place where there is love, brotherhood, and the place has a peaceful and a harmonious environment. There are no insecurities, no fear, nothing is there, right? The person at the ticket window, he threatened him because that currency was not applicable in that case. So he comes back home, he gets his currency notes changed, he purchases old currency, goes back in search of the third level again, but this time he's not able to search the third level. He discusses all this with his psychiatrist friend Sam and his wife, from where the story has started. His wife was worried when he got to know about it. After a while, he distracted himself with stamps. Somehow Sam, the psychiatrist, disappeared out of the blue. Now, Sam has said that it was your, dream fulfillment, right? This was what you were hallucinating. You had traveled, you had time traveled, you were hallucinating because you want to escape from the present day problem, from the insecurities of the modern world. Now, he was not able to search third level. Charlie was already very much disturbed. So he reverts back to his stamp collection. Okay, in that stamp collection, he finds a first day cover. Now, first, you need to understand what is a first day cover. Please, everybody switch on your videos. All the videos are off again. Hitesh, Pranav, kindly switch on your videos, everyone, please. So what is a first day cover? First, you need to understand that. Earlier, when a new stamp was issued, in order to procure it with them and to mark the date when that stamp was issued, people used to take a blank envelope and put a stamp on it and mail that blank envelope to themselves. Now, what would happen as a result of this? That the stamp would get that legal stamp of the postal department mentioning the date, and that they would procure it, that on this date this new stamp was issued and I got this first day cover. Generally, it was a blank envelope with no letter inside because somebody is mailing it to himself, so what to write, right? So he got a first day cover in that stamp collection. When he opened the first day cover, there was a letter inside. Now, the letter inside it simply stated that it was a letter by his psychiatrist friend Sam, who said that I am in Galesburg, Illinois. It's a beautiful place and you must come to this place. So continue searching. You and Louisa must visit this place and continue searching for the third level. You will surely get it. To an extent, this ending doesn't solve the issue. Now the narrator leaves the story to this point for the readers to jump up to the conclusion on their own. Now, first, before I give you what exactly have happened or what would have happened, what is your notion on that? What had gone wrong or what had actually happened? Give me the answer, please. Yes, please. Can I have your answers?